How you doing today? My name is Julie. Welcome to the Purple Fox Kitchen. Today we're going to make the most delicious coconut shrimp you've ever had. One of my all-time favorite recipes. It's great just to make at home, and it's really great when you have guests over, and they will love it. Super, super easy. So when you're ready, I'm ready. Here we go. So here I have some gorgeous shrimp. It really doesn't matter what size you use. So a lot of times when I make this dish, I take the tails off of the shrimp just so people don't have to deal with tails, especially if you're catering a party or just having people over. It does not matter either way. In this way, your guests can just enjoy the whole piece of shrimp. So you don't have to have a little dish for the tails or whatever. But if you're at home making it for your family, who cares? There's really no right or wrong way to do it. But I'm just telling you, you can take the tail off, and it's great. Your guests will appreciate it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to have a dredging station. We're going to start with the flour. It always goes flour, egg, breading. Always. So I'm going to start with a little bit of flour. And then you always want to season your flour. So I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. Just kind of mix that up. And then you're going to add your eggs. And then for your breading, I like to do 2-to-1 measurements. 2 coconut to 1 panko. So that way you don't miss out on the coconut flavor. It's just extra, extra delicious. So right here I have a 1/2 cup. So I'm going to do a 1/2 cup of panko. And then here's my coconut. And you have to use sweetened coconut because it just makes it so much better. Don't use unsweetened. So there's a 1/2, and then another 1/2, and that's it. Just toss it all together. And then with your eggs, just make sure you mix them up really, really well. And I always like to add a little bit of water to the eggs, just so they're not so eggy. So just like a tablespoon of water is great. Just thins them out a little bit, doesn't make them so thick with egg. And then we're ready to go. So what you want to do, just throw a few of your shrimp in here. And then what we were always taught was you use your dry ingredients with one hand and your wet ingredients with another hand. So I used with the flour, the dry, with my right hand. You put it in the egg mixture. With your left hand, you go in, make sure it's tapped off greatly, throw them in, and then go back with your dry hand. Make sure you smush them down. Beautifully, beautifully covered in your awesome coconut. And we'll just keep going. So this is what they look like when they're all breaded. And you know, I've cleaned up my breading station, washed my hands, ready to go. The trick to this is you want to put these in the refrigerator for, I'd say, at least a 1/2 hour, 45 minutes. You want them to get solid, and you really want that breading to stick to the shrimp. So when you fry them, the breading will stay on there if they're cold rather than doing it right now. So we're going to put them in the fridge, and then in about a 1/2 hour, I'll see you then, and we'll fry them up. So I've taken my shrimp out of the fridge, and I'm just going to take a little vegetable oil, and you really want to cover the bottom of your pan. You want to put in a pretty good amount there because you want the oil to, you know, get up the sides of your shrimp so it cooks, you know, not just the surface, but on the side a little bit too. Okay, so now I have my oil in the pan. I'm going to let it heat up a little bit. I have it on high right now, but I'll probably turn it down a little bit. You definitely have to figure out the temperature of the oil. You don't want it too hot. You don't want it too low. You want it just right. So basically, you just want these shrimp to cook a couple minutes on each side, but get really, really golden brown. And it'll just cook through the shrimp. You don't want the breading to burn. And you don't want it sitting in oil when it's too low, because then the oil will just seep into the shrimp and they won't get crispy and delicious. So just try with one shrimp first, see how it goes, and then we'll put the rest in there. Now, when you see your oil start to shimmer a little bit, you know it's getting hot. My oil is shimmering, it's not smoking, it's not way too hot. So I might turn it down just a little bit. So I'm gonna put one in. See, it's sizzling already on the outside. That's what you want. You want it to have a good little sizzle going. And I'm just gonna see how this works, because I don't wanna have it be too hot and throw all my shrimp in there and then ruin all my shrimp. So we're just gonna cook this for a couple minutes on each side, and then we'll see how it looks. And we'll go from there. And then we'll just do all the shrimp, and we'll do it in smaller batches because you don't want to overcrowd the shrimp, because the more food you have in the oil, it reduces the heat of the oil. So we're just going to do a few at a time and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so it's been a couple minutes. We're going to just peek. Be careful. Oh, see, that is gorgeous. So you can see it is a gorgeous golden brown right now. So the oil, it's at, a great height. It's starting to get golden on the other side too. It's going up the sides of the shrimp. You can even, hold it here, get all sides. But it is starting to look gorgeous. And because I know this is a great temperature, I'm going to start adding a couple more pieces of shrimp in. And another tip I have for you, when you put food in oil, always put it in away from you. So I'm going to take the shrimp and lay it in away from my body. If you do that for chicken or fish or anything, the last thing you want to do is put it in like this and then have the oil splatter all over your body. So you want to put it in and lay it away from you. So I've already done one batch of coconut. I have a couple more to go, just one more batch to go. But some of the coconut got very burnt, and obviously I don't want to put fresh shrimp in burnt coconut. So what I'm going to do is just take a glass container. You want to empty the oil, the hot oil, in the glass container. And then I have a paper towel here. And just clean it out with the paper towel. So now we have a nice clean pan, and I'm just going to put some more oil in here for our last batch. Let it heat up, let it get all shimmery. We'll cook our last batch, and then they're ready to eat. So our oil is nice and hot, nice and shimmery. So we're just going to add the rest of the shrimp. Sizzling away, looks awesome. Like I said, put the shrimp in away from you. You don't want to splatter yourself with hot oil. And what you want to do is when you take them out of the pan and they're nice and hot, you want to give them a little bit of seasoning. So you want to take a little bit of salt and pepper, give them a nice little helping, season them up, make them taste good. These have been in it for a couple minutes. They look great on both sides. This one's a little thick. Give it a little tap on the side, but that looks beautiful. Just going to start to take these off. Give that a little tap on the side. Oh, these look so good. Gorgeous. Turn the heat off. Now take a little salt and pepper. And they are done. And I'm going to show you how to plate them up. So our shrimp are done. I'm just going to put them nice and pretty on a plate. If you have anything to garnish, it's pretty, they're beautiful. You can add a little scallions, chives, microgreens. You don't need anything. Leave them like this. It's all fine. Just put them nice. Now for the dipping sauce, this particular brand happens to be my all-time favorite. So basically you can just use this sauce straight up. Nice dipping sauce. There have been times I've added orange marmalade or apricot marmalade to this sauce. Either way, there's no right or wrong. They're both absolutely delicious. And also another tip for these kinds of shrimp, so you can keep these in the fridge just like this for a couple days. Get to someone's house or at your house, just reheat them in the oven for about maybe 8 minutes. And they'll get nice and warm, they won't get overcooked, so you can serve them days later and they will be delicious and everyone will absolutely love them. So enjoy. Cheers. Best condiment on the planet. So good. Enjoy. So good. Absolutely one of my favorite all-time appetizers. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, comments, anything, please reach out to me, and I really hope you make these because as you saw, it was super, super easy and your friends and family will love them. Have a good day.